quick economics on trade diversion. The question is, do trading blocks cause trade diversion? So what we're going to do is straight away define what is trade diversion and give you a practical example. Trade diversion is when trade moves from a low-cost producer to a high-cost producer within the union. We're going to go back to that definition, but let's give a practical example of UK trading with Tanzania. Now, the assumption is, which is actually a fact, the UK is outside the trading bloc. They're outside the EU. They are now enjoying trade with Tanzania because Tanzania has a comparative advantage in bananas. Now, suddenly, what happens? For some reason, I don't know what the reason is, but the reason is UK decides to join EU. It decides to rejoin EU. In fact, EU invites the UK back into their fold, and UK agrees, and they decide to join EU. As a result of joining the trading bloc, as you should have learned in previous lessons, when you're part of a trading bloc, they have what you call a common external tariff, which applies to any country outside the EU trading bloc. In this case, Tanzania is outside the trading bloc. So let's say they decide to set a 15% tax on Tanzania for them to be able to import into the EU. Suddenly, the cost of Tanzania bananas goes up by 15%. And then suddenly now it's really a difficult situation because it's now very expensive. So as a result of that, the UK decides to trade with Spain, who haven't got the same comparative advantage as Tanzania. However, they do not pay any tariffs. So they are much, much cheaper. Okay. So the UK now trades with Spain. So they've moved away from Tanzania and they've moved now to Spain. And that's what trade diversion is. And what you find is that trade diversion actually harms poorer nations who are not part of these trading blocs. So let's go back to the definition again. Trade diversion is when trade moves from a low-cost producer, which is Tanzania, who have the comparative advantage, to a high-cost producer within the union, who are Spain. And Spain are not, who do not have the same comparative advantage, but because they can benefit from the tax, they are now cheaper. So this results in this situation. It's considered quite undesirable because it concentrates production in countries with high opportunity costs. Spain has a higher opportunity cost. If you don't understand that, please go back to my video on comparative advantage. They have a high opportunity cost, and therefore they have a lower comparative advantage. And as a result, the country where the goods are being diverted to use more factors of production. Spain needs more factors of production in order to produce bananas. So it's not an efficient use of resources. So as a result, word efficiency is lost. So that is how trade diversion can actually is actually created through trading blocks. So hopefully you've benefited from this. I'll do a lot more videos. Please like and subscribe. Thank you very much. Bye bye.